Hello, everyone. Welcome to Awaken Your Freedom Show. Please subscribe to support our growing community. All right, let's dive right in today. We're looking at something that honestly challenges how most of us think about getting wealthy. The idea that you need tons of discipline. Maybe not.
Exactly. We're digging into David Bach's The Automatic Millionaire Blueprint. And his core message is pretty radical. He basically says, forget willpower. Wealth building is about design.
Zero willpower, only design. I find that fascinating. And he kicks things off by saying you don't need a huge paycheck, you don't need iron self-control. The real secret, pay yourself first, automatically.
And that cuts right through the biggest roadblocks people face, right? Feeling like, I don't earn enough, or I just can't stick to a budget. Bach says the system is the solution, not your daily effort. So today we're focusing on the 5 key principles that make this happen. How to turn wealth building from this stressful chore into something predictable. Automatic even, giving you, the listener, a clear path.
Okay, let's start with the first and third principles because they seem really connected. Automation over willpower and this idea of making money invisible. Why does the usual way saving what's left over fail so often?
Well, it's almost set up to fail, isn't it? You earn, you pay bills, you spend, and then you hope there's something left to save. But life happens. There's almost never anything left consistently. That's relying on willpower day after day.
Bach saw that wealthy people just flip that script entirely.
They save first,
Yeah.
automatically, before the spending decisions even come up.
Yeah.
But it's more than just changing the order, right?
Yeah.
What's the, psychological trick that makes automation stick when willpower fades?
It's about decision fatigue. Think about it. We make hundreds of little spending choices daily. If saving is another choice you have to consciously make, should I move money this week? Eventually you'll slip. It's just human nature. By automating it, like having it pulled before it even hits your main checking account, you remove the decision. Poof, gone. The system keeps working even when you're tired or tempted. That makes so much sense. Which leads right into principle 3. Make the money invisible. How do you actually do that? Sounds kind of complicated, maybe. Like setting up tricky bank stuff.
Oh, it's actually the opposite. It's about using simple systems that already exist. The classic example is a 401k at work, especially with an employer match. That money often never even shows up on your paycheck stub. It's gone before you see it. Or, if you work for yourself, setting up an automatic weekly or monthly transfer from your checking straight into, say, a Roth IRA or another investment account. The point is moving it before it competes with your urge to spend it.
Right.
Bach's big insight here is that automation basically makes time your business partner. You set the rules once, and then time just does the work for decades.
And the difference it makes is, frankly, stunning. Bach uses that example. A couple making $55,000 a year, they automate 10% savings. They become millionaires in about 30 years, thanks to compounding.
Yeah.
And you have another couple earning double, $110,000. But they try to save manually, whenever they feel like it. What happens?
Often, they end up broke at retirement. Their lifestyle just inflated with their income, and saving always got pushed off. We'll save more next year, but next year never comes.
So when the saving decision is automatic, the outcome is just way more predictable.
Exactly. Takes the emotion and procrastination out of it.
Okay, so we've tackled how to save, automate it, make it invisible. But where does this money actually come from? Especially if someone feels like they're already stretched thin. This brings us to principle 2, the famous, maybe infamous, latte factor.
Right, and let's be clear. People love to dunk on the latte factor. Oh, so I skip my coffee and become a millionaire.
Right.
They missed the actual point Bach was making.
Yeah. What's the real point then?
It wasn't about demonizing coffee. It was a metaphor. It's about identifying that the money you need to invest probably isn't missing because your income is too low. It's already there, but it's leaking out, drip, 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 through small, seemingly insignificant daily spending habits.
So it's not about deprivation, it's about redirection. Finding those little leaks and plugging them by redirecting the cash flow from mindless consumption into purposeful investing. You don't necessarily need a raise, you need a redirect.
Precisely. And the math is where it gets really powerful. Let's make it concrete.
Okay, hit us with the numbers.
Take that $5 a day leak. Seems tiny, right? That's $150 a month. Now you redirect that $150 automatically into an investment account. Let's say it earns a pretty average 8% return over the long haul.
Okay.
After 40 years. That simple $5 a day turns into nearly $450,000.
Wow. $450,000 from $5 a day.
And here's the really crucial part about time. In the first 20 years, yeah, it grows. Maybe to $80,000 or so.
Yeah.
Respectable. But it's the last 20 years where the magic happens. Compounding goes into overdrive. Your money starts making serious money all by itself. That's why starting early is such an advantage. Time becomes your greatest asset.
That completely reframes it. It's not about suffering today by giving up coffee. It's about capturing a small leak and letting it work for you for decades. That's a huge mindset shift.
It is. And think about it. Connect that back to automation. You make the decision once to find that $5 leak. Maybe it's coffees, maybe it's subscription services, whatever. You automate the transfer. And boom, you've potentially secured almost $500,000 for your future self without constant effort.
Okay, powerful stuff. Let's shift gears a bit now. We've talked about saving and redirecting cash flow. What about building actual assets? This is core principle 4, owning assets. And Bach puts a big focus on home ownership.
He does. He sees owning a home, specifically paying it off, as a core pillar of long-term wealth. It provides equity, obviously, but also immense financial stability, especially later in life. No rent payments in retirement, that's huge. But maybe the hidden power he highlights is that a mortgage acts as a kind of forced savings.
Yeah.
Part of every payment builds your equity, whether you're actively thinking about saving or not. It just happens.
But what about today's housing market? Prices are crazy high in many places. Does that advice still hold up? Is it realistic for everyone?
That's a fair challenge. And Bach isn't necessarily saying everyone must buy right now, but his advice about managing the debt once you do own is key, regardless of the initial price. The focus shifts to accelerating the payoff. And this is where he gives that super practical, actionable tip.
The extra payment thing.
Exactly. Make one extra mortgage payment per year. Doesn't sound like much, does it?
No, seems small.
But the impact is massive. Most mortgages are structured so you pay mostly interest up front. By adding that extra payment, and ideally you break it down, pay 112th extra each month, so it's even less noticeable, you apply it directly to the principal.
And what does that do to the timeline?
It drastically cuts it down. A standard 30-year mortgage, you can often pay it off around 22 years. Think about that. 8 fewer years of payments. And you save tens, maybe even hundreds of thousands in interest over the life of the loan. It's using the system's rules to your advantage.
That's smart. Using consistency against the bank's interest schedule. Okay, that leads nicely into the final principle, principle 5. This feels like the glue holding it all together, the mindset. Bach says most people just sort of drift financially, hope for the best, but automatic millionaires, they rely on structure.
That's the fundamental difference, isn't it? Wealth isn't treated as this emotional thing, this mood you have to be in. It's a system. Automatic millionaires automate everything we've talked about. Retirement savings, yes, but also building emergency funds, accelerating that mortgage, even planning their charitable giving. They don't obsess over daily market swings or constantly tweak their strategy. They set up the structure carefully once, and then maybe they check in once a year just to make sure things are still aligned with their long-term goals. It's disciplined design, not daily discipline.
Which really brings us back full circle to that quote you mentioned earlier, summing up his whole philosophy. Can you share that again?
Sure. He says, becoming rich is not about luck, timing, or genius. It's about committing once and letting time do the heavy lifting. It underscores that boring consistency is actually the secret sauce.
Right. And that explains something we see in real life, doesn't it? Those stories about people in regular jobs retiring wealthier than high-flying professionals.
Absolutely. Think about that parking lot millionaire story, backshares. This couple, earning less than $60,000 combined, definitely not rich by income standards. What did they do?
They just started early and automated, right?
Exactly. In their 20s, they committed to automatically saving and investing a percentage, maybe that 10%. No complex schemes, no crypto fortunes, no day trading, just steady automatic investing and paying down their mortgage. By their 50s, they had over $1 million saved and their house was paid off. That story perfectly shows why consistency beats complexity. The teacher, the janitor, the postal worker who follows this simple automated plan over decades can absolutely end up wealthier than the doctor or lawyer who earns a ton but lives paycheck to paycheck with no system.
It's the power of boring wealth. That's really the genius. It's not exciting, it's not flashy, and that's why it works. That mantra, set it and forget it, it removes the constant need for decisions, for willpower.
And if you're listening to this, that's the core takeaway. Stop trying so hard to get rich through sheer effort and discipline every single day. That's exhausting and often fails. Instead, design your finances so wealth accumulation happens almost as the side effect, automatically. You put in the effort once up front to build the system.
So let's make this really practical for everyone listening right now. We've walked through the blueprint. The message is clear. Don't wait for some perfect moment or a big raise or a sudden burst of motivation. Here's the challenge. Can you find 15 minutes, sometime today, maybe right after this? Log into your bank account or your employer's retirement plan website
Just 15 minutes.
and set up one automatic transfer, just one. Maybe it's into a savings account, maybe an investment account, even if it's small to start. That $5 a day leak we talked about, that's 20-something a week. Start there. Just set up one automatic step.
That first step is everything. You're building the system. Remember, the secret isn't working hard on your finances every day for 40 years. It's working smart once to set up the system, and then letting that system, along with time and compounding, do all the heavy lifting for you. That structure is freedom.
To close, please don't forget to subscribe on your favorite platform, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, or Spotify to stay sharp and never miss a drop of knowledge that could change your financial life. Thank you.